Welcome along to the 6th day of competition here at FIBA Women's AfroBasket 2017. We start with the playoffs for 9th place. Guinea, who finished the group stage 0-5 against Tunisia, who suffered heartbreak after double overtime on the final day, missing out on a quarter-final place by just 5 points in a three-way tie with Cameroon and the Ivory Coast. Those teams all finishing 2 and 3. Before we get this one underway, we'll pause for the two national anthems. Welcome along to the first of the 6 games on this court in Bamako here today. In this one, a playoff to decide who's going to finish 9th in the competition. The 4 teams out of the 12 at this tournament who didn't make the quarter-final lineup, competing almost in a mini-tournament now over the course of the next couple of days to decide those classifications between 9th and 12th. So these two will go toe-to-toe first, Tunisia and Guinea, as we see the referees for the first game. And then the second game on court today will be the Democratic Republic of Congo against the Central African Republic, essentially a semi-final for that 9th place. And then tomorrow the 2 winners of these first 2 games will face each other to decide 9th and 10th. And the two losers will face each other to decide 11th and 12th. Teresa Brantlever, former Czech international captain, alongside me, Tim Long, for this one. And Teresa, we can see, looking down at the floor, that Guinea very short-handed, just 9 players out there today. Benamur injured for Tunisia, so they're down to 11.
Yeah, we can see that these games are for the 9th place, 10th, 11th and 12th. And the teams are now probably saving those players or just giving them some break, the injured players or the old players. Guinea doesn't have their leader on the court, Niang, who's a key player, and here we see the Tunisia roster.
It's the number 14, Benamur, who is injured, so we don't think she's going to play a part. Huda Hamrouni, the number 5, is their key player, although subject of a really controversial call in the last game, that heartbreaking double overtime defeat on game day 5. We can see she's back in the starting 5 today, but she was fouled out in that game, having only played 10 minutes, and nobody seems to know where one of those fouls was. The Tunisian coach wasn't happy. The player herself seemed to know it as well. There was a huge protest, although she had to leave the court, and that could have been a big turning point in that game. She'd previously averaged close to 13 points, 6 rebounds a game, and shot over 50%. They were saving her. There she is. They were saving her for the final minutes. She came back in and quickly got 2 fouls according to the official scoreboard, although everybody, apart from the scorer's table, only saw the 1 foul, and she was forced to leave the game. And Tunisia finishing that game with tears in their eyes after just missing out by 5 points on a place in the quarter-finals. Here's the Guinea roster, and Simone Keita down the bottom there has been key. She had a double-double on game day 2. Kadi Mbai, the number 7, has been one of their main scorers, close to 12 points per game across the first 3 games, but then struggling a bit with her shooting after that.
We will see loads of battles probably against Simone Keita and Salman Nasria under the rim. I think that's going to be probably the key element in today's game, even though Tunisia has way wider bench than Guinea. Also, Tunisia has a good backcourt players with Lubravery and Ben Machlia as well. So I would expect Tunisia to take that win in today's game, but the question is about the motivation after that yesterday's double overtime with that controversy of Hamrouni getting fouled out. And but I think Tunisia still wants to grab that 9th place, so we will see probably an aggressive play from them to try to overplay Guinea's team. And
you expect them to win this one, and there we see that matchup. Simone Keita has no doubt been one of the most effective players for Guinea at this tournament, and Salma Nasria, well, she's been absolutely crucial for Tunisia. A double-double in that double overtime game on Wednesday, 15 points, 11 rebounds, 4 steals and a block, and 30-year-old veteran who has really acted as a role model for many young players on that roster.
It's always important to have one leader in the group, and we've seen in previous games, as soon as Salman Nasria has got into foul troubles early in the game, the level of intensity of Tunisian team has dropped down a bit, because straight away they had disadvantage under the rim. So Nasria is absolutely a key element in an inside space for Tunisia. On the other hand, Simone Keita has proved us so far that she's such a strong player on the board. She's using her physicality, her body constitution to make a space offensively and defensively. So as I already said, it's going to be nice to watch these two to battle against each other.
And speaking of on-court leaders, it's Nadia Niang, the 39-year-old for Guinea, one of the players that they will have to do without today. She hasn't lined up for this one, and she has been the player to steer many of their lesser experienced players through the course of this tournament, so they'll still have plenty of experience on there. Aminata Silla, perhaps the oldest player at this tournament at the age of 43, she I think may play a part. We'll have to see for Guinea, as we see them there. Aisha Mara, the number 5, another player who can score big, had a tournament best 18 points in game 3, 11 in game 4. And there's Ousmane Camara, the head coach of Guinea. And on the other bench, Mohamed Riyad Ben Abdallah, the Tunisian head coach, who very nearly got himself in trouble in that double overtime defeat, protesting that Hamrouni foul situation.
As you mentioned, Aisha Mara, I think she hasn't really convinced me that she's that key player, because she had a great first game at this tournament, but since then I think she has lost that sense of responsibility to be one of the key players for Guinea team, and she has been a bit struggling to find her rhythm in at this tournament.
Here we go, start of the first game in the 9th place qualification tournament, and it's Tunisia against Guinea, game 6 for both these two nations here at this competition. Into the paint, chance at a first score, didn't go down for Chile. First offense for Guinea with Barr. Here is Silla, the 43-year-old, trying to bulldoze her way through a gap. They'll try and fight for it down on the deck. Chile grabs it. It's gone in favour of Guinea here. Silla will shoot the 3 and hits it.
Yeah, the Guinea has absolutely nothing to lose in this game, and we will probably see these looks at the rim more often in this game, where Tunisia won't expect them to be shooted. But as I said, Guinea has nothing to lose. They don't have their key player Niang today, and the other players would have to take that responsibility to score today.
Silla, who brings the ball down the floor here, has not been a scorer for them over the course of the tournament, so a rather uncharacteristic 3, but they turn it over this time. Chile in the open floor gets that one to go. First score of the game for Tunisia.
That's what Tunisia is good at. They're good at to steal the ball, grab a quick rebound and just push the ball for the quick break. They've been really good at this tournament. They're averaging almost 18 points every game from turnovers.
Barr was trying to attack there, but instead turns it over. Benmeklia, nice pass underneath, back out. Here is Hamrouni. Can't hit her first shot. Chile grabs the offensive rebound. Monia Benmeklia.
Both teams have started with man-to-man defense. I wonder if Guinea is going to go back into the zone defense to save a bit of energy of the players, because their bench is quite narrow.
Uberi was trying to drive that time, had it knocked away. And it comes to Benmeklia, who's trapped on the baseline, still Tunisia ball.
It's been a great effort from Kadim Baye. Unfortunately that hasn't happened, but Tunisia has to be really careful not to try to force every shot and not to try to force when there's a double team or 2 players. In that situation it's great, just have a look, put your head up and deliver the ball to your open teammate.
There's Aisha Mara. Crossover onto the left, step back behind the 3-point line, back onto the left-hand again. Can't find any room to operate inside the paint. Here's Barr, back out. Aisha Mara, she'll put the ball on the floor right hand this time, pulls up mid-range, can't hit. Still at the offensive rebound, a fresh 14 seconds to work with. Underneath the hoop, down the baseline. That's an athletic move for the 43-year-old.
That's quite impressive start from this player as well, because she hasn't been really involved by points at this tournament too much, but we've seen 3-point shots from her now, a reverse layup. A great first couple of minutes from this veteran.
She's been picking her games to do different things. 3 steals in under 14 minutes in game 1, 5 assists in 16 minutes in game 2, and maybe game 6 is all about scoring. 5 points early on. All 5 for Guinea, who lead by 3. Chile to Hamrouni. Their key player through the first 4 games before being limited to 10 minutes on court in game 5, Hamrouni. Chile over the head pass. Nadia will take on the long shot. Covered here by Guinea, who burst forward with Mara and the foul call. First foul of the game on Tunisia, on Luberi. Silla. Here she goes again. Mara. Now Bar. Back out. Silla puts the ball on the floor, attacking right down the throat of the defense this time, nearly getting that one to fall.
And that's the role of the older players in the team as well, older and more experienced ones. She's not afraid to take that responsibility for Niang to drive her team on her back. So we've seen quite brave moves now from this veteran, and that's obvious since first minute that she's going to be probably a key player for Guinea team at this game, in this game.
Hamrouni from Luberi's inbound. Luberi trying to get free now, receives it back. Shilly, the handoff on the perimeter. Across to the far side, Benmeklia, high catch Hamrouni, but blocked off by Keita. Here goes Mara. Silla's completely free on the far side. Mara never found it. Now it's a 2-on-1, 3-on-1 even fast break. Fake pass, then they go the other way behind the defense, and Hamrouni puts it in. One-point game. We've played just over 3.5 minutes.
You see that Luberi is guarding Aisha Mara. It's good to read if someone on the court has a mismatches and use this advantage in your favor. And we see that Aisha Mara is way taller than Luberi, and I haven't really seen her yet play sideway into the basket. So she should recognize that mismatch and try to use it in her favor.
Benmeklia, no-look pass. 3-on-2 fast break. No-look pass back out to Hamrouni on the perimeter as well. She's missed her first 3 shots now. Nadia, bounce pass, Hamrouni. Won't miss that one.
It's a game. You see how important is that timing for that cut through. Nadia has received the ball as soon as defense of Hamrouni has turned hat towards the ball. She has just cut through.
I do beg your pardon, she's hit both of her layups but missed all 3 of her long-range shots, and we're going to have a timeout with 5.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Tunisia have come from 5-2 down to lead 6-5.
Hey, Escan. Aïcha, tu peux venir s'il te plaît? Viens ici. Les filles, c'est pas mal pour l'instant. Okay. C'est pas mal pour l'instant, mais notre problème c'est au niveau de la défense. Vous sortez trop. Je voudrais bien que vous acceptiez de travailler ici dedans. Comme ça, en cas de débordement, chacune est capable d'accord de fermer. Mais notre défense est trop élargie. C'est à cause de ça, les pénétrations sont faciles. Faites beaucoup attention. Okay? Et puis perdre le ball là-bas dans le cadre adverse, la première des choses, c'est de rentrer en défense. On revient vite. Mais je vois, c'est seulement quand je vois ici derrière. Toutes les autres restent là-bas, c'est pas normal. Si vous jouez rapide, il y avait un minimum de passes sur le panier interne. Allez-y, Yes.
Good start for Guinea, up 5-2, thanks to the 5 points of Aminata Silla, and Keita's played her part on defense with some rebounding skills, but they trail now by 1, 6-5. Almost a steal as it went into Luberi, across to the far side. Nadia on the turn at the end of the shot clock, doesn't go. I'm not sure what's happening here. There's a problem with the shot clock that they're going to have to sort out here. The shot clock only got down to 16, and the buzzer sounded, and then it didn't reset for the offense of Guinea. So we're going to have a forced timeout, and we'll have another break. 6-5 it is, Tunisia.
Vous pouvez jouer à l'opposé et là on a le droit à un tir de running by, et ce qui est intéressant ici. son adversaire là. Et j'ai vu vraiment une bonne compensation ici. Il y a eu un débordement quand il est venu stopper, d'accord, le ballon. C'est comme ça, la solidarité au niveau de la défense.
Ici, on est que si c'est possible.
Oui.
Si c'est pas possible, restez sur vos pieds.
Voilà, ok. Maintenant, encore, j'insiste beaucoup sur le repli défensif. Si vous êtes fatigué, demandez changement. Ok? Mais je ne voudrais pas que...
Mais vous défendez les mains comme ça. Les jambes, ok.
Il faut y croire.
Elles vont faire la passe.
Il faut y croire. Si on y croit, tout est possible.
Elles ne sont pas en confiance sur le tir extérieur. Donc on continue comme ça. Sur le porteur de balle, tout de suite, mettez la pression pour qu'il lâche le ballon. Tout de suite, passez milieu de terrain, vous mettez la pression
Allez
sur un...
shooter là, allez shooter.
Allez. Pression, Fanta. T'as compris? Milieu de terrain, tout de suite, tu mets la pression.
Debout tout le monde est prêt, tout le monde.
Welcome back to the first game of 6 on court here on game day 6 at the Women's AfroBasket 2017. We've had a lengthy stoppage because of a problem with the shot clock. 4.5 minutes played. Tunisia up by 1, 6-5. And it looks, thankfully, as if we're ready to get this one back underway. The players have been out on the court warming up for quite some time, keeping warm. And here we go. Guinea with possession, trying to retake the lead as it comes through to Mbai. This a qualification game to decide who's going to finish 9th in the tournament. Passed out by Keita and flipped up and in by Mara. Or Suma, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, that's been great timing from Suma. Wait till Keita has her feet ready and is ready for that backdoor pass.
Here goes Nadia, getting away from her opposite number Keita and getting contact. Foul on Keita is the second on Guinea, midway point of the first quarter.
It's a shame now that Simon Keita has fouled Australia, because there's been a weak side help ready under the basket. So if they would have communicated with each other, it could have got away with that penetration.
Nadia hitting from the stripe. We've had a few lead changes now, back and forth, although a turnover there as Fantasuma can't reach that long pass. Shilly, guarded by Mbai. Hamrouni on the far side. High pass towards Nadia, knocked away though by Mara and recovered by Keita. Here goes Mara trying to drive in for the layup. That's what she can do, and you were calling for her to do a little bit more.
I think Tunisia now has to start to recognize that if they just play half speed, Guinea's going to punish it. They're not as bad as they would have expected, and it almost seems like they a little bit underestimated them, because Guinea is leading by 1 point so far.
Chance to extend that lead as well. Mara finding Keita, the long 2 off the mark. Nadia the rebound. Bemeklia to Lubiri. Hamrouni calling for it free on this near side. Doesn't come her way though. Bemeklia taking her time into the final 10 seconds of the shot clock. Difficult pass for Lubiri's cut, picked off. Suma, one of the fastest players we've seen on court at these championships, showing some nifty footwork as well and getting some contact. First foul of the day on Hamrouni. She'll go to the bench. She had 3 early fouls in the really significant Game 5 victory over Ivory Coast, although they didn't win by enough. They needed to win by 10 or more. They won in double overtime by 5. She had 3 fouls early on, sat for a good 15 minutes, I think, of the game, came back in, quickly got a foul, although the officials counted it as 2. Nobody quite knows where the other foul came from. And she was fouled out after just 10 minutes on court. She sits on 1 foul at the moment. Bemeklia to Shilly. In towards the low post. Off the mark by Xori Spai. Getting it by 3. And a chance to extend it, although miscommunication between Bar and Suma.
Yeah, forced error. And we've seen already, I think, 3 or 4 so far from Guinea. And they're just killing their game a bit, because they're giving basically the ball for no effort of Tunisia away, and that could be a disadvantage for Guinea's team.
Big block from Mara, matching the athleticism of Lubiri all the way into the paint. There's Lubiri, shot clock's down to 5, knocked away and turned over.
Good to see Guinea playing intensive defense. And well, I can say Suma is getting better by every game at this championship. She's an inexperienced young guard, and we can see the improvement by every game from her.
The officials have changed the call. It was originally the other way. Still Tunisian ball, just 4 seconds to shoot. They get it in, put it up, and it's blocked again by Mara. Back-to-back blocks in the space of about 20 seconds. And by to Suma. Bar. Back out to Mara on the perimeter. Can she do it on the offensive end as well? Twisting into the paint. Nice footwork, underarm layup, way off the mark. Pinch back. It's Silla who was battling away for it. And by rather, and flipped up by Mara. So a couple of blocks and a couple of layups and a power cut. And we're going to have another stoppage. And it seems this game is going to go on and on and on. Welcome back to this second power cut of the day. And it looks like we're going to stop yet again. We thought we were back in action. We have had a problem with the shot clock. We've had a problem with the power. And we're going to have another break. Welcome back again to the first game of 6 on court today. We've had 3 lengthy stoppages now, a problem with the shot clock and 2 power cuts. And here we go again. The lead looks like 3, although we're seeing a different score here in the arena. And 2 minutes left of the first quarter. I thought there was a bit longer than that to go, but they've got it as 1 minute and 50.
It's been a great defensive rotation now from the Guinea team. Every player has replaced the player who went for a help. Now we
Suma.
see zone defense from Tunisia.
Mara and Bai. Mara dancing through the defense. We're seeing a 7-point Guinea lead at 15-8 here. Spy with the shot. Khalifa trying to grab the rebound and able to reel it in, but last touch was off a Guinea player, so it's still Tunisian ball. And we're going to have a timeout with 1 minute and 13 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Guinea leading Tunisia 15-8.
نساعدوا في الادفيرسير وهو قاعد يمركي يفيقوا شويه البنات سي با نورمال لا السكور قاعد يهرب راه شنو هذا صح سي با نورمال ما ثماش روح تاع باسكيت تو مش باسكيت ثماش روح يفيقوا شويه صح.
Qui joue la poste 4, celle qui doit sortir pour débloquer la situation. Ok? Pas de précipitation, on ne s'affole pas, on tourne là-bas.
Well, the coaching staff on the Tunisian bench so unhappy with what they're seeing at the moment that we can hear them screaming from our commentary position, and they're over the other side of the arena.
That has been a great kick from coach Abdallah, because his players so far not seeing any motivation to be playing at this game. We've seen a zone defense possession from them, and there's been wide open half court that Aisha Mara could have attacked, and no one even had paid attention to her. So great kick from coach, and let's hope that this was a wake-up call for them.
Nadia up against Keita, that the matchup we highlighted at the beginning. She misses a shot. Into the final minute of the first, 7-point Guinea lead. They have been comfortably one of the 2 worst teams at this tournament until this point, along with the Central African Republic. Suma to the corner to Mara, who steps in towards the paint. Gets blocked this time by Nadia, but a foul, so she'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, against Nadia is not happy with her teammates' defense, because when you play a zone defense, you don't really want to allow that middle penetration, because that just gives the offensive players too many opportunities to create, either for themselves or just finding their open teammates.
Missed foul shot from Mara, who has 6 of their 15 points so far. A couple of blocks as well early on. Offensive rebound, Suma, one of the smallest players on court.
Exactly, rebounding over Salman Nasria. You don't see that quite often.
Mara to Suma, Bar calling for it, receives it now. Turnover Guinea, a chance for Tunisia with 20.2 seconds remaining in the first to just edge a little bit closer. Suar Khalifa. Jadidi Misteri. 6 seconds to shoot here. They'll try and move it to the perimeter, but they turn it over. And Guinea have 4.7 seconds left.
And there was a difference between these 2 zones defense from both teams, because Guinea didn't allow a Tunisian player to drive through down the middle.
Mara gets it away in time. Can't bank it in at the buzzer. Smiles on Guinea faces though. They lead Tunisia at the end of the first quarter, 15-8. The prize for the two finalists of this tournament will be a place at that Women's World Cup in Spain next September, but the prize on offer here for these two teams is trying to finish as high in the classification places as possible. 9th is the target for the 4 teams that didn't make the quarterfinals. This is essentially a semi-final of a mini tournament to finish 9th. Tunisia and Guinea in the first game on court today, and then the next game will see DR Congo against the Central African Republic. The winners of those 2 games will face each other tomorrow for 9th and 10th. The losers will face each other for 11th and 12th. We've seen a really good start from Guinea, sparked by Aminata Silla, who scored their first 5 points. And despite the best efforts of Tunisia in transition there, they've only scored 8 points in the first quarter. They trail by 7. Let's hope we have a more smoothly operating second quarter after a very stop-start first. The Tunisian bench will hope for a much better performance from the players out on court in red. Jadidi Misteri.
Man again from the Guinea team.
Sadak to Jadidi Misteri. Drives inside, runs into trouble. And a whistle on the play with 8 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Fatouba has been a bit slow on her feet to stop that penetration of Jadidi Misteri.
So she will go to the line for 2. Had 7 rebounds in a hard-fought Game 5 performance. Tunisia would have been comfortably expected to win this game, but here they are trailing by 6 still. Within touching distance of a place in the quarterfinals, Tunisia, Guinea nowhere near. But here's Suma for 3, and now they're up by 9.
Suma has already scored in yesterday's game 10 points for Guinea against DR Congo, and as I already said, she's getting better by every game. She's gaining valuable experiences for her future at any level she will play in her career.
Suma only 19 years of age. And certainly some raw ability there to work with. She seems to be shaping herself into a better player each and every day at this competition. A turnover. Mara able to reel it in and control it. Waits for the cavalry to arrive. And by Mara again. Little fake one way, goes inside. And another foul.
When you play a zone defense, you really want to protect the middle of your zone space. So all the outsides or perimeter players who's guarding the wings or point guards should be in a good defensive stance to just force the player to the baseline where is a help. And we've seen a couple of the offensive possessions from Guinea that their intention is to attack the middle of the zone, and it works for them so far.
It's worked enough to give them a 10-point lead for the first time. Just 1 of 2 for Mara from the line. Khalifa. It's going to be a 3-pointer. Off the mark though for Sadak. Suma, same spot, this time puts the ball on the floor towards the baseline, and a reaching call.
Officials are quite consistent in this game with calling fouls when the player again uses their hands and have them one or both hands on the player. And Tunisia should have read that already so far, because we've been a quarter and a bit already at this game, and it's quite easy for players to know what level officials usually set. they should be able to adjust to it.
There was a collision there as they were trying to both grab the inbound pass. It's Barr who's down on the far side of the court for Guinea. And Ben Meckley has picked herself up underneath the basket, seems to be in a better position. We've already seen Luberi getting a big whack in the first quarter. Now Ben Meckley are a bit shaken up. Bar looks to be okay. Well, Guinea would have expected to be playing in this game as one of the weakest teams at the competition. Tunisia weren't expecting it, certainly not hoping for it. They had real ambitions, genuine ambitions of a place in the quarterfinals and have missed out, so there is perhaps inevitably a bit of an attitude problem for them, getting focused for this game that they don't really want to be playing. And the last thing they want to do is be picking up injuries as well. There's another collision on the edge of the paint involving Mara and Jadidi Misteri. Sometimes, Teresa, when you're not quite fully focused on a game, that's when injuries can happen.
Exactly, and we know that this tournament is long. Both teams has already played. This is their 6th game in 1 week, and that's quite a big amount of games. And all players have to really focus and try to raise that motivation inside of them, because, as you just said, that could give us space for injuries.
And by with the 3 after some nice ball movement. Guinea are pulling away. Tunisia need to tune it up. Mara's rebound and by. They've had a couple of 3s in quick succession now. Suma who hit one of them and By who hit the other.
So we see again zone defense from Tunisia. They usually put the pressure on guards in that transition offense, but then coming back to zone defense.
Aisha Mara wouldn't quite bounce high off the glass and fall for her, so a break for Tunisia. Khalifa way off the mark. Mara coming quickly down the floor, and Bai is completely free this near corner if she can spot her. She's triple teamed though and tangled up.
Great recovery from Tunisian defense. Mara has been one-on-one in that transition offense, but 1 fake and 2 another Tunisian players has been back in defense.
Great to see Luberi, the number 12 there, battling away, because she took a really big whack to the jaw in the first quarter. Barate's shot won't bounce. Jadidi Misteri. Guinea have played with a real intensity here that Tunisia haven't been able to match. Luberi can't hit the 3.
Yeah, Nasria is not happy right now because she has been the first big in offense, trying to play in the low blow, but Luberi has decided instead to shoot a long distance shot.
Keita blocked off by Nasria, can't save it on the baseline. 9 points in 13.5 minutes of play for Tunisia, just 1 so far in 3.5 minutes in this second quarter.
That is a big credit to Guinea's defense and whole team as well, that they stepped into this game full of motivation. They want to win this game. They could feel the first couple of minutes of this game that they have a chance, and you know, at this championship everyone will take that chance. If someone gives you a hand, you will take it.
The first field goal of the quarter for Tunisia. Drive from Khalifa. And by Mara, Suma into mid-range and puts it in. She really has found her feet at this tournament.
Yeah, and she's an athletic player, so that usually works against the zone as well, because as we could see, she has used her pump fake. As soon as her defense has moved, she went under, and there was no rotation again in that zone defense to stop her.
Luberi, corner of the paint, able to force it to Nasria. Shot clock down to the final 5 seconds. Nasria steps through the paint, misses an awkward turnaround. Mara to Suma. And by. Mara, final 6 seconds of the shot clock as she crosses over into the paint. Finds Keita, they've got to throw it up now. Long three-pointer, wouldn't go for Mbai.
I think Guinea should try time to time run a quick breaks, because that will work against the zone. If they're gonna just settle to play against that zone all game 5-on-5, I think the Tunisia will slowly cut that margin off their hands as well. So they have to change the rhythm offensively before the zone defense is set.
Nadia blocked off underneath, and an unsportsmanlike foul is being called here. Nadia looks bemused. Let's see if we can see anything on the replay.
We might could have seen a bit reaction from Nadia after she had those hands of Guinea's players on her. The reaction after that foul has been whistled.
We've seen it flash up there, and unsportsmanlike for Mbai.
Now these free throws are for that call when Nadia has been shooting.
So was that a double unsportsmanlike, do you think?
I think she's just getting now rewarded by that shot foul, but then there's been an unsportsman foul at the same time from her. So now it's gonna be Guinea team player shooting, because we could see that reaction from Nadia after that call has been whistled. She has pushed one of the Guinea's team away from her, and that has been called as an unsportsman foul.
It certainly looked like the official said it was an unsportsmanlike against Nadia, but the graphic on our screen was focused on Mbai, saying it was an unsportsmanlike foul on her, so I don't think it was.
Exactly. It was an unsportsman on her, absolutely. So it's a Guinea possession right now.
Mbai across to Mara, and then Bar to the corner to Suma. Mbai steps in for the long two, off the mark. Rebound grab Nadia. Ben Meklia. Khalifa. Nadia calling for it. Edge of the paint, gets it now. Draws the double team, finds a pass out to Khalifa. Blueberry's the free player and makes it count.
Yeah, again, we've seen that double by the baseline, but there hasn't been the third rotation this time from Guinea team.
Final 4 minutes of the first half. First game out of 6 on court today. Suma showing that athleticism. Turns it over though.
Yeah, the ball has been deflected on the thigh of Suma, clearly, so possession of Tunisia. None of the team really intend to run a quick break, so there's a lack of intensity in this game.
Mbai. Suma. 3.5 to play in the first. Guinea by 10. Suma taking her time to recover the loose ball. Mara loses out, and another unsportsmanlike has been called.
I'd love to see a replay, because I haven't seen anything. Aisha Mara has been on the floor, just trying to grab herself. Oh yeah, she has pulled the shorts of one of the Tunisian players, Ben Meklia. Good spotted by officials.
There has been a few little rivalries developing through this one because of some of those big bumps. A few players going down hurt. Nobody wants to get injured in this game in particular.
Yeah, no one does, because after these championships, the new seasons are about to start, and everyone takes this championship as a good warm-up for their seasons as well, if I can call it that way. But as you just said, no one wants to bring any injury into the new season of your clubs, which starts usually September, October.
Nadia. Hamrouni. Lily Mysteri into Nadia, passes out to the double team. Open look from the outside off the mark. Suma over the top of Silla to Mbai. Bar. Mbai a couple of feet back.
It's a shame now they double guessed themselves at the previous open positions, because Fatou Ba has had open position, same like as Mbai as well before. And they have decided just to wait a bit longer offensively.
Luberi tries to cross over off the foot of Suma, I think, and then Nadia just picks it up and puts it in at the end of the shot clock as well.
It's important as a shooter when you decide to take that shot. You see by the court vision, you see if there is any teammate for a rebound. So if you don't see any teammate ready to rebound your ball, you usually then change the decision to take that shot, because you would love your teammate to get that offense, unless, as in the case, you're going to miss that shot. So that has been the possession before, when Mbai and Fatou Ba has been double guessing themselves. Still, there was no one for the rebound, because the players had to get out of the paint.
There goes Luberi in the dribble drive, and she's fouled. Just before that, we had the second three-pointer of the half for Aminata Silla, her 8th point going up on the board. She's not been a scorer at all at this tournament. That's Nasria's one. And here's Silla's 3. Luberi at the line. Had a tenacious Game 5 performance, and that double overtime win by 5 that wasn't enough in the end for them. 14 points, 3 assists. All-round energy and determination from her that was matched by many of her teammates, but to no avail in the end.
We see now, because Guinea doesn't really intend to play a quick breaks and score easy baskets, Tunisia is slowly cutting that march into 6 points from 13 difference, and it plays definitely in their favor.
Final minute of the first half coming up here. Guinea's double-digit lead reduced to 6. Nasria, nice bounce pass, the cut to the basket down the baseline from Luberi. Best piece of quality we've seen on offense in the game.
Yeah, every time you see a backdoor move, what we've just seen from Luberi, you're asking a question, why there is no one on the split line to help for this cut? Because in that case, that could not even happen, that pass. So defense needs to really set their feet up, and someone needs to be on the split line from the weak side, because their player at that moment is not really dangerous to the offense.
48 seconds remaining. Gap closed to 4 as we see that move. Nasria's pass was right on the money, despite the problems with the defense. At the line is Fanta Berete. Hitting both. Guinea just keeping that Tunisian comeback at bay for now, but for how long? Meklia over the head pass. Lily Mysteri had it knocked away in a foul called on Berete, who's disappointed with the call.
Now we could see that Karim Mbaye has pushed her teammate Berete, who wanted to discuss that call. She's like, no, referee, that's all right, I got this. My teammate is quiet, no problem with that call.
You could see there was a foul quite clearly on the replay. Lily Mysteri at the line. Able to hit both of them. The gap is just 4 points. Final 35 seconds of the first half. Sumo lost it, able to recover though, and it leads to a good position for her, but she takes her time and goes back. Sumo then having to battle for possession.
Luberi is that type of player who can really make her teammates play quick and with intensity. You could see that last couple of possessions, offensively and defensively, she was the key element of Tunisian team. She has run for a backdoor, she has drawn her fouls, now she has hustled for the ball. And since first game at this tournament, we've seen that she's definitely that energetic key player of Tunisia.
Wafa Luberi's sheer determination and energy has sparked a Tunisian comeback from 10 down. They trail by 4. We've got a timeout with 23.6 seconds remaining here in the first half. Quick look there at some of the stats for Guinea, who have spread their scoring, the vast majority of it between 4 players. Silla on 8, Mara, Suma and Mbai all on 7, but it's Tunisia thanks to that young lady there, Luberi, who have come back, and this is the kind of intensity that she's played with at this tournament. Maybe some of her teammates who don't quite want to be in this game, but as they turn it over with Ben Meklia called for the double dribble, you can quite clearly see that Luberi is the kind of player that wants to play and wants to win any game.
And it's very important, again, it comes to the roles in a team. It's important to have that type of player in your roster because, as we just said, they've been down, their heads been down as well, till Luberi has decided that she's going to show, come on teammates, we got to play in this game.
Suma passes off the baseline. Bar puts it on the floor now, looking to attack. Don't see anything on the shot clock at the moment.
I think it seems to be a bit undecisive in their offense last couple of the minutes in this quarter. They're just kind of overcoming open looks and then forcing into positions when there's not really ideal players for that shot.
I beg your pardon, the shot clock had been switched off because we only had 20 seconds to go in the half. Now we've got 0.2, so that will do it. The basket wouldn't have counted for Hamrouni, and half-time finally in this game after some lengthy stoppages in the first quarter. At the end of the second quarter, it's Guinea 31, Tunisia 27. Welcome back to the opening game out of 6 on court here on game day 6 of the Women's AfroBasket 2017 in Bamako. And this is a classification matchup to decide who's going to finish 9th at the tournament. The winners of this will face the winners of our second game on court today, tomorrow, for 9th and 10th. The losers of this will face the losers of the next game for 11th and 12th. Guinea have had essentially 4 players score all of their points in that first half. An impressive first half for them. 8 from Aminata Silla in less than 8 minutes on court. 7 each for Aisha Mara, Fantasuma and Kadi Mbai. Mara also has 5 rebounds and 2 blocks in an impressive first half performance. Guinea have shot 42% from the field. Tunisia looking deflated after that heartbreaking double overtime game against the Ivory Coast 2 days ago, as they missed out on the quarterfinals. Have had 7 points each from Salma Nasria and from Wafa Luberi, and they've shot just 27% from the field.
There's a clear lack of motivation for Tunisian team in this game, and that's why they left Guinea to be on the top of the horse the first half of this game. Guinea has settled to play 5-on-5 offensively against the Tunisian zone defense, and they should run some quick breaks, as we're just seeing now. Mbai doesn't like this formation, so she has decided to slow down again.
Here's Mara. Now Silla, 2 of the key players so far. She's going to fire the 3 again. Oh, gets the hop off the front rim. 3 threes for the 43-year-old.
That's a great shooting percentage from this veteran. She hasn't really been seen as part of the Guinea team past couple of the games, because there's been Peruch Niang, a key player for Guinea team, but she had to leave this tournament for some family issues, so we don't. That's the reason why we don't see her at today's game, and Silla is taking that responsibility to lead her team in today's game.
Mara back out. Bar calling for it far side as Mbai, but Bar takes on the 3, misses. Guinea's lead out to 7 again now as they grab the offensive rebound. Mbai. Aisha Mara left completely unguarded, misses. Ben Meklia, bounce pass into Jadidi Misteri, and the block from Keita.
That was get out of my house. I'm the queen in here. Simon Keita, another impressive performance.
Here she is again on the perimeter. It's 4 threes for the 43-year-old.
Well, as long as Tunisia is going to walk in their zone defense, there will be players uncovered for Guinea team, and Silva is under fire right now.
The number 4 of 4 from downtown.
You could see that Guinea defense has learned from that backdoor in the first half, which Tunisia team has clearly practiced. So there has been a help on the split line.
14 points for Silla. She gets called for the foul on the defensive end. Non-shooting foul, so Luberi will inbound from the baseline. Nasria back to Luberi. Puts the ball on the floor. Hamrouni steps in away from Silla, trying to get away from Mara too. Hangs one up, can't get the drop. The lead for Guinea back to 10. They have led by as many as 15 according to our halftime stat sheet at 26-11. Tunisia had a 10-point unanswered run to close the gap. Got within 4, but it's back out at double digits again as Silla dances through the defense and continues her stunning display.
Yeah, lack of motivation, that's all I can say about Tunisian team, because Hamrouni just can't be that slow, and she's not that type of player being slow as she's showing right now into the penetration of Silla.
Luberi is the one Tunisian player who really is going at this as if she wants to win. Luberi with 9 points now. Silla for Guinea leading the way of all scorers in the game with 16. 8 of those very quickly here in the third quarter. Here she is again. Trapped by a triple team momentarily. Barr will just launch it up at the end of the shot clock. Didn't hit the rim. Grabbed by Luberi anyway. And she's all guns blazing again down the floor. Well, that's her tally and now has double figures. And she's bumped by Barr. Unsportsmanlike call.
I'd love to see a replay. I don't really think Barr even seen her running around her, but the Brewery is just one of the best players at this tournament to draw fouls.
Luberi certainly leaves it in no doubt for the officials that she's been hit when she has been hit.
Yeah, there has been contact. We have to definitely confirm that. But just the question is, was that intentional contact from Fatou Ba? Let's just leave it like that, and everyone will make their own picture out of that replay.
Potentially a big turning point in this third quarter after such a positive start from Guinea, taking the advantage back to double figures thanks to the outside shooting of Aminata Silla.
Yeah, and that turning point again has been led by Luberi, who has been very energetic, smart guard for Tunisia.
So free throws, of which they hit 1 of 2, and possession because of the unsportsmanlike foul. Beneklia bounce pass, Luberi's backdoor cut. She puts it in and continues her impressive display.
We've seen the same action for the third time now of Tunisian offense, and again Silla is probably now coming to the stage that she's becoming a bit tired to be on that split line, but just someone has to be there.
That time it was a foul by Luberi. You look at the two benches, and for every foul, everyone seems to be saying unsportsmanlike now. Guinea bench asking for it that time. Luberi's playing with a real tenacity.
I'm pretty sure Coach Abdallah is really happy that he has Luberi now as part of the team, and she hasn't got any serious injury previously in the first half when she got hit to her face, because right now she seems to be the only player who wants to be here today from Tunisian team and win this game.
Timeout called, 6 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the third. Guinea's lead cut to 5 again, 39-34.
C'est le jeu. Si ça marche, elle a gagné. Donc tombe pas dans le panneau par rapport à l'arbitrage. Derrière, regarde les backdoors. مش كنت سلمى ولا مش كنت فلانة. N'importe quelle joueuse عندها adversaire قدامها box out خرج صاحبتك. On assure. Il y en a d'autres qui ما يشوفوش برشا الكورة. كيما توا backdoor ça y passe. جاتك لات ça y passe. On joue un peu un basket fluide. شوية مرتاح. يسمك في رواحنا راهو. On reprend défense 3. Zone, zone.
Luberi now up to 14 points to lead her team in scoring. Nasir on 6 is their second top scorer. Guinea led by those 16 points of Aminata Silla, who's 4 of 4 from downtown. The next game is DR Congo against the Central African Republic. And part of this classification mini tournament to decide the finishing positions 9th through 12th. And then our final 4 games on this court here today. Business really does pick up, the 4 quarterfinals.
You can see there's been no Guinea teammate of Simon Keita going for that free throw rebound. That means they really wanted to be on time in defense. Don't allow Tunisia play any quick break.
Hambouni. Aminata Silla and by Mara. Back out to Mbai, who takes on the long 3 in and out. Beneklia, long pass, back out. Hambouni on the perimeter, guarded by Silla. Beneklia. Going to shake off the attention of Aisha Mara. Mara's rebound. Again, Luberi showing that there was at least some kind of contact, not illegal contact though. Silla, another 3 wide that time. So her run of 4 made three-pointers comes to an end with the 5th.
So it seems like Nasria has picked up her 3rd foul. Called on the rebounding. It's again a great effort on the board from Fatouba. She's playing one of her best games at this tournament as well.
Here is Bar. Really good footwork to spin back towards the baseline and to squeeze it in from the tight angle. Quarterback pass down the floor. Sadak couldn't handle.
Sadak has stepped into this tournament really well as well. I think first 2 games of Tunisia. Since then, it seems like her performance a bit going down. And I'm pretty sure that Tunisia will need her today to be that type of player as Luberi is for Tunisia right now, to bring a bit of energy from the bench.
Mara into Bar. Mara calling for it, bypasses her, goes to Mbai, end of the shot clock. Offensive rebound, Silla, fresh 14 to work with. Mara to Mbai. Here's Keita. Back to Silla, right at the end of the shot clock again. Back out, they're not going to get it away in time.
Nope. Not time. Great defense from Tunisia. Making sure that no one commits that foul in the last second of the shot clock.
Eight points the difference, 4 minutes to play in the 3rd. Ben Meklia, Nasria calling for it, doesn't get it. Far side is Sadak. She puts it in.
Yeah, and that's exactly the offense we needed to see from Sadak for Tunisia. Yeah, but there's another player who can contribute by points.
Turnover from Guinea. Even Luberi not able to catch up with that one though, down the floor.
We can see that Karim Bae has been now guarding Luberi quite aggressively, trying to guard her before she even gets the ball. So she puts a bit pressure on her.
Nasria to Ksori Spy.
I think Guinea in today's game, they like to play against zone defense of Tunisia, because there's no intention at all to run any quick break.
Going all the way that time to put it in was Sadak. We haven't seen too much of that. Suma, tenacious defense from Ben Meklia, but she's beaten by Suma's quick thinking, quick movement. Here she is again, trying to get down the baseline, blocked off, back out. Teardrop won't go. Ben Meklia, risky pass. She tried to be clever with it. Suma, one of the biggest, if not the biggest players on court, and one of the smallest, going toe-to-toe.
I can only agree, because she has been performing so far really well. She has contributed by points as well, as she just gives that movement against the zone defense of Tunisia.
Suma to Mara, back to Bar. 2.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. 4 points the difference again. Drive and wild shot left-handed by Sacco. Now it's a 3-on-2 fast break. Overhead pass off the mark for Ben Meklia. She crosses over towards the baseline and gets contact from Mbai.
Yeah, we can see that she has learned from the previous possession, because she has committed that turnover. She wanted to pass to her teammate as a last cutting trialer, but this time she changed her mind and instead of took that responsibility for her arm penetration and drawing foul.
The foul, I beg your pardon, was on Fatima Sacco. Meklia at the line to try and get Tunisia just that little bit closer. Misses both of them though, and Keita wrestles down the rebound. Mara. Suma to Bar to the far side. Bar gets it back, plenty of time to work with still. High catch and adjustment for Sacco. Bar. Off the side of the backboard.
It's unfortunate that there's no really player from Guinea going for that rebound after that shot. So now all we see is just one shot for Guinea offense, and it's such hard when time to time you won't grab that offensive rebound to get another chance to score at the same position.
Smart piece of thinking from Scory Spy. They had an open look for Ben Meklia at 3. She faked the pass out. 2 of the defense went to the perimeter, and Scory Spy just turned around and put it in. Tunisia now within touching distance, although we're going to have foul shots at the other end for Aisha Mara.
Yeah, and that's the 4th foul for Salman Nasriya.
So she's walking the disciplinary tightrope now. One more foul and she'll be fouled out of the game. And before that can possibly occur, the coach is going to take her out, give her a break and save her for a bit of the 4th quarter. Shamara hits both, getting up by 4, final minute and a half of the 3rd. Ben Meklia trying to find the gaps in the defense.
It's a shame because she didn't see that Suma has switched, a big player, and has been a mismatch created. Instead of just holding the ball and wait till her big gets into the position with Suma on her back, she has decided just to rush that offense and take that penetration.
Huge mid-air collision between Suma and Luberian, nothing called. In all fairness, no complaints. Final minute of the 3rd, 4-point differential. Ben Meklia thinking about the 3, passes on to Sori Spy out to the corner. It's Luberi will take the outside shot. Brilliant save there, back into the hands of Janudi Misteri from Sadak.
That's the thing, they have now a second chance to score, and that's what Guinea doesn't have at the moment.
Keita forced over the baseline, disappointed that she didn't get the call. She turns it over by stepping over the line. Just 2 seconds differential between shot and game clock at the end of the 3rd. So Tunisia are wise. They can hold it for what should perhaps be the final shot of this quarter, if they can use the whole extent of the shot clock. If they get a good look, they might take it earlier. Sadak. Ben Meklia does take one early, misses. He grabbed the offensive rebound though, and the shot clock turned off at the end of the quarter as they missed that one. 10 seconds for Guinea to push the ball quickly down the floor. Mara. Suma, good look for 3, can't make it count. And one final shot from centre court was never going to go. So at the end of 3, Guinea have had their, at one point, 15-point lead cut down to 4. They trail Tunisia 40-44. Here we go, start of the fourth quarter. Guinea leading Tunisia 44-40. And a classification matchup to decide the final positions between 9th and 12th. The winners of this will go for 9th tomorrow. The losers will try and not finish last. Bemeklia. Tunisia have trailed by 15. They're within 4, trying to get closer, and they do.
Fatuba has been sleeping now on that weak side. She just basically has watched Bemeklia go and penetrate all the way down. Has to make the extra step to be the last player for help.
Suma. Back out to Bar. Sacco. Here's Bar again. Shoots over the top of Jadidi Mysteri and hits it. Guinea just able to keep that 4-point gap intact for now. Sadak to Luberi. Steps back, then drives the baseline. Gets fouled as she looked to kick it to the corner.
There was no way that Luberi could even look at Reem and Suma. She's been frustrated a bit, so she was like, okay, let's foul her. Just to make sure she's in a right position instead of using her hands.
Luberi to inbound from the baseline to Jadidi Mysteri. Luberi again, really is playing hard. Trying to be infectious for her teammates. That one off the mark for Sadak. Picked up though on the foul line. Luberi to Bemeklia. Sorry, Spy goes one way, goes the other way, and gets called for the travel.
One thing what we can see is a bit increase in intensity of Tunisia energy level. We see that while their key players from 4 and 5 positions sitting on the bench, there has been a bit more energy from the guards of Tunisia now to make that game put on their side.
And they certainly won't want to lose this game. Guinea have yet to win a game at the tournament and have lost big on every occasion, including by 66 and by 73. The two biggest margins of the competition. Tunisia might feel now they need to play properly for the next 8 minutes. Luberi. Great defense, denied by 3 of them in the end. By Bar, back to Mbai. Had a spot to shoot. Didn't take it. Bar will though, and puts it in. 6 points for Fatou Bar.
Seems like while Peruch Niang is not at this tournament anymore for Guinea, Fatou Bar has taken that responsibility and just gave her a minute to shine for Guinea's team.
Foul called against the defense. It's on Fanta Suma. That was the previous rejection. The basket from Bar. It's made it a 6-point game. Sorry, Spy looking to set a screen, pick and roll, bounce pass into Jadidi Mysteri. 2 foul shots.
Great play from Tunisia now. Number 13, Soris Bey has recognized that there's been a great help on her, and she has made that extra pass for her open teammate, Jadidi Mysteri. It's always love to see when players are reading the defense and they don't just play because they are asked to play some set offense. It's always good to see when players are taking their time and putting their IQ in and are able to think one step ahead and know exactly why they're making certain moves.
That intelligence from Kusori Spy that time led to the 2 foul shots for Ginny Mysteri that closes the gap to 4. Aisha Mara. Prodding and probing, looking to penetrate. Here she goes, 2 open on the far side. They kick it to the corner and by wide open look for 3. Couldn't get the bounce and there were plenty of them. Tunisia looking to get within touching distance again. Kusori Spy. Suma, nobody's going to catch her with her as she races onto that down the floor.
Great defense, but a great offense, I would say. Simon Keita has been in the right position for that help, and Suma has just read it really well for that long pass to run into it and finish from a quick break.
Guinea are keeping Tunisia at bay for now. Ben Meklia around the frame of Kusori Spy, who rolls again into the paint, but the pass was nowhere near her.
That was obvious that Soda didn't want that ball yet. So Ben Meklia should have just taken one more extra dribble to wait till her teammate's going to get into position.
Bar.
It's a huge mismatch now.
Against Ben Meklia, she passes out of it. Suma to the corner and by another 3-point shot. Side of the backboard was disrupted by the defense. And put in at the other end by Sadak to close the gap to 4 again. Mara, the pace and the intensity has gone up a notch here as Mara throws it off the mark. Here they come in transition, it's a 5-on-3. Coach Abdallah will be a little happier with the effort of his team now. They still trail though, 5.5 to play. Ben Meklia fouled. And we're going to have a timeout with 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this game. Guinea 50, Tunisia 49.
Et on limite le tir extérieur. Chaque fois, juste ton côté sur les pics. Et juste ton côté sur les pics. Hey, Simone, il est où? Sors en step out ici. Chaque fois, si tu restes là, elles échangent. Après, Fanta se retrouve avec l'intérieur. Elle va la tasser. Hein? Oui, en défense, je te parle. Fanta se retrouve à l'intérieur, chaque fois avec l'intérieur. Problème de taille. Donc tu sors, tu fermes et tu viens reprendre. Comme ça, Fanta, il saute. Elle saute. Tu sautes les gros scores. Regarde. Allez, on sort. Aïe.
Quick look at the foul trouble there. Tunisia have Nasria with 4. Nobody else on more than 2 though. Guinea have Mara, Suma, Berete and Bar all on 3, but nobody on 4. 5.5 minutes to play in this one. It's a really close game.
We already see Salma Nasria on the court, even though she's in a foul troubles with her 4 fouls. There's still 5.5 minutes to go. Let's see if she can manage her hands to not commit any crazy 5th foul.
Ben Meklia up against Bar. No look past to Ginny Mysteri on the baseline, but she was trapped underneath the backboard and they turn it over.
And we see another unsportsman foul from Ben Meklia. Yeah, she has reached the leg of Kadimambaye.
No legitimate attempt to play the ball, so it's called unsportsmanlike, and that puts Kadimambaye at the line. And Guinea will have possession after these free throws as well. put themselves in a very good position here to pick up their first win.
To be honest, I think Guinea plays one of their best games at this tournament so far, because there's more players contributing offensively and defensively. They're playing very smart and disciplined. They know if they're going to start to play quick against Tunisia team, they will punish their unforced error very quickly. So they have decided just to play a clock, and we see very static game from them, but that works.
From way beyond the setting sun, right at the end of the shot clock. It's been a three-point shooting show at times from Guinea. They're up by 9. Nadia playing on those 4 fouls. Can't hit that one. Flying rebound from Keita. And there is a foul called.
It seems like every time Tunisia gets closer in that margin of the score to Guinea, something good happens for Guinea. Like now we've seen Fatou Ba playing a great game, has hit her threes, but she's not really a three-point shooter, so that's been a big shot for her.
Fatou Ba up to 9 points. The last foul was on Jadidi Misteri, not on Nadia, thankfully for Tunisia.
Great pressure.
Suma again, finding Mara on the strike. Third foul on Tunisia.
There have been quite 2 unforced errors now from both sides in a pass by the half court.
It's been a really good team effort from Guinea on offense and defense. 16 points for Silla, but 3-4 players even on 9 now. Mara, Suma, Mbai and Ba. 14 for Luberi for Tunisia. Nobody else has more than 6.
That's a shame Simon Keita doesn't play Nadia, because she has to know that Nadia is on a 4 foul, so she probably won't put as much pressure on her playing one-on-one as before. And I think coach should remind his players that Nadia is on 4 fouls, so they can play and try to attack her.
Here's Ba turning against Nadia, who was careful not to foul. Recovered by Keita, but thrown away. Nine points the difference inside the final 4 minutes. And we're going to have another timeout. Guinea leading Tunisia 55-46.
On a besoin du score, on a besoin du score. Les précipitations, je ne vais pas faire rien.
C'est bon? Fatou et Simon. Là, comme ça, tu profites de ça. Ok? Si tu l'as pas, tu continues. Hey, si tu l'as pas, tu continues. Si c'est toi qui as ouvert,
on continue sur la même défense. Allez, on y va.
3 minutes and 58 seconds separates Guinea from their first win at this tournament. As we see one of the key scorers, Fatou Ba, hitting shots from all angles as well. This one from a couple of feet back beyond the arc. And more recently than that, she was able to roll inside against Nadia and finish close to the basket. Nadia remains on court on those 4 fouls for Tunisia.
I wonder if coach Samara has mentioned that at that time. We couldn't really hear that, so we will see any intention from Guinea team to attack Salman Nadia to force her to commit her 5th foul.
It's Tunisia with the ball first. Nadia's looking to set a screen. Luberi into Nadia, and Bai was quick to pounce around the corner, but Nadia clung onto it, stepped through a gap as well and finished. That's why they need her on the floor.
Exactly. He is a threat offensively and defensively for the Tunisian team, and she's been a key player for Tunisia.
Look at the pressure on the ball now from Tunisia, and then they retreat as Bar's able to cling on to it. 6-7 point game rather. Mara wants to go to work here, one-on-one on the far side. And a shot clock violation. She was able to bank it in with a bit of contact, but the shot clock had expired.
She has kept the ball too long in her hands without any effectivity. She has double guessed her what she wants to do, and that's why there's been a shot clock violation.
So that basket we've just seen doesn't count. It remains a 7-point game, 3 minutes to play. Tunisia looking to close the gap. Luberi. Nadia puts it on the floor and lays it up and in. Back-to-back baskets for her. Tunisia back in touch.
Well, there's been a help coming from Ba, but it has been without any aggression. If you go help, you have to be there for it.
Keita across to Ba. Timeout called with 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the game. Tunisia have closed the gap down to 5 again, but every time they get close, Guinea seem to pull away again. Is that going to happen here over the final minutes of the game?
It's been a great timeout, actually. Give a bit of break of players now before this 2.5 minutes. The rest of the game, because it's very interesting now. The Guinea team needs to play smart. They should not commit any turnovers right now, because Tunisia will be ready to punish them. So I'm pretty sure Guinea is going to play a time and sit back to their organized offense.
Tunisia do have a foul to give in the closing stages. Guinea already on 4 fouls, so any foul from their defense now will send Tunisia to the foul line. As we see the top scorers for Tunisia, Luberi joined in double figures by Nadia, who hit 2 baskets in quick succession a few moments ago. And there's Hamrouni, who's stuck on just 5 points so far, was their leading scorer on close to 13 before that controversial exit from the game for foul trouble yesterday, or 2 days ago rather.
It will be important now for Tunisia to score, to get a bit closer in that score.
Luberi. Nadia gives her room to attack. Bounce pass into Nadia. Had it stripped. And then Bai unleashes Suma down the floor. But what a great effort to get back from Ben Meklia.
That's what I was talking about. There's no point why would Guinea want to turn the ball over like this. And then Suma again showed her inexperience, because they are as a team in the foul troubles, and that gives like 2 free throws to Tunisian team now to get even closer in the score. And instead of just holding the ball, playing the time and organize their offense has been so far working for Guinea team, they just commit this quick turnover.
Guinea at the foul limit, so the foul sends Ben Meklia to the line. She was asking for an unsportsmanlike, I think. That wasn't given. Just a 3-point ball game now, 2 minutes and change remaining.
It's been a great effort from Kadim Baya to force Tunisia commit their 4th-team foul. So now every foul will be rewarded by 2 free throws from both teams.
And Bai. Mara. Suma. Into the final 2 minutes we go. Suma loses it on the dribble and then tries to recover. It's Tunisia ball as they look to get within 1 or maybe even tie here. Nadia onto Luberi. Nadia calling for it. It goes the other way to Ben Meklia. Now Hamrouni's calling for it far side.
And that gives a Suma 5th foul.
A couple in quick succession for Fantasuma, the 19-year-old, so she fouls out on 9 points.
She has had quite impressive game today, but at the same time, she has really used a silly fouls in her defense to get her out of the game when the team needs her on the court.
That one just about falls for Ben Meklia. And Guinea are just about ahead.
Now, obvious pressure from Tunisia, trying to force Guinea team to make another unforced error.
Keita bundles it over half court. Now they need to protect it better. Mara. Contact from Luberi. He was trying to express the contact the other way.
Yeah, that's been a quite clear elbow on the face of Luberi.
Maybe justice will be done as Aisha Mara misses the first foul shot.
Yeah, we always say ball never lies. So when this happens, that's almost a rule that the player is going to miss that first free throw.
She does get the second one, 2-point game. Final minute and 20 seconds. Ben Meklia. Amrouni, backdoor cut, finds a gap and finds a finish.
Yeah, credit to Tunisia now, because they've been playing very smart these past 3 minutes of the game.
Mara. Trapped and called for the travel. And with 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining, Tunisia have the opportunity to take the lead. We're going to have a timeout with just over a minute to play. We're locked level now, 56-56.
Salma, tu restes là. Moudé. Monia. وفاء. مودير هنا لا مودير هنا وفاء خلي موني تعمل باس. شو تعمل؟ لا تيرا سمح. لا تيرا. Sinon, Fadi et Sopra. T'as un compte temporise en haut. D'accord? Revenez tout de suite en soutien. La passe, vous revenez en soutien. D'accord?
Suma we've seen fouled out for Guinea. Tunisia now have Luberi and Nasria on 4. But they have weathered the storm and got back from 15 down to tie level with 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining. And now Guinea look a little rattled. They thought they were on course perhaps for their first win of the tournament. And now the ball very much in Tunisia's court.
And also we can see that Tunisia has played at double overtime yesterday, so they are way more experienced in the tough games than Guinea team. And they're just showing up now in those last 3 minutes of this quarter that Tunisia plays way smarter and without unforced errors.
Still tons of time to work with here as Luberi recovers the ball on the far side. Around the frame of Nasria, Luberi attacks inside and can't get it to go after it rolled around the rim a couple of times. So it's rare that you see that. What a break for Guinea. Silla trapped, recovered by Mara. Bar with a bit of space, closed out by Nasria.
And we see that Coach Abdallah has put on the court again Silla experiences for the end of the game on the court. And that's such important tactical move from Coach Abdallah, because Silla has experienced games like this before, way more than her teammates. So she definitely needs to be on the court. Great move.
She's not just on the court, but she's at the line now to try and add to her team-high 16 points. The 43-year-old has had a good rest. She's back in for money time. 30.2 seconds to play. Guinea lead by 2. Coolest person in this arena, Aminata Silla, with those free throws.
Yeah, now time out of Tunisia. I'm sorry, I misunderstood before. It was a move from Coach Samara, not Abdallah. Coach Samara of Guinea putting Asila on the court. And now call from Abdullah, coach of Tunisia, because they're going to have a possession on their offensive half court. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be some set offense to make sure that they score at least 2 points in this possession.
When we return to the game, we'll have a 6-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
I'm pretty sure if Tunisia won't score in this offensive possession, they will have to commit a quick foul to try to get possession back on their side.
And then from there, you hope that Guinea miss a foul shot to keep it a single possession game. Tunisia heartbroken not to reach the quarterfinals, within touching distance, lost out on a 3-way tie on points differential by just 5 points. She was heartbroken to be fouled out in that double overtime game. Hamrouni. Now she'll try and play her part in a comeback here that will at least give them a shot at 9th. Here goes Hamrouni, skips away from the defense, but she was off balance as she threw up a wild shot. Now we'll see what they do with the clock here, Tunisia. Will they foul?
They have to at least cross the half court though. It took quite long for Tunisia to commit that foul. It took almost 10 seconds for them to commit that foul. Oh, and
yeah, it looks certainly, looking at what we see on the game clock, that should have been an 8-second call.
And Ben McLear has received a technical foul called on her. She probably must have said something to referee.
Well, Simone Keita goes to the line, and you have to feel for Tunisia here, especially after the problems they had in that Game 5 of the group stage, where Hamrouni was very controversially fouled out. And now it looks as though that should have been an 8-second violation. Instead, it's free throws at the other end as Guinea close in on their first win of the tournament. Lots of disappointment and bewilderment on the faces of those in Tunisian red.
And it's a Tunisia possession after their technical foul. I absolutely agree, because it has taken ages for Guinea to cross that half court. And I don't think referees have spotted that time clock.
It's a 2-possession game already after the free throws. They'll try and wrestle it back, Tunisia, but to no avail. Silla. It's going to be Guinea's first win of the tournament. A tough one to take for Tunisia. Look what it means to Guinea, though, who have been comfortably one of the 2 worst teams in the competition until this point. But they battled and fought all the way for that first win as they beat Tunisia 60-56. A huge upset.
There has been quite a lack of motivation at the beginning of the game, especially. So I think Coach Abdallah could be only mad at his players that they hasn't stepped into this game with full motivation to grab that win. But you know, to be honest, they have now been through tough games past 2 days, today's included, when there's been a quite key elements at the quite important parts of the game called against them or not called at all. And we see that Guinea is just super happy to grab that first win, and credit to them because they deserve to win. They have put a great performance in today's game. They have used that lack of motivation of Tunisian team in their favor, and they've been playing exactly what they wanted. They stick to a game plan, not to play a quick offense and try to compete against Tunisia in quick breaks. And they have also put a great performance. They shoot 7-19 from three-point line, which has worked against the Tunisian zone defense. And I just think that they deserve really this win. There's been 5-6 players contributing by points as well, and well-deserved win.
Huge celebrations for Guinea and a few of their supporters that they have here in this bottom right corner of the court, as you can see on your picture, as the players go over to show their appreciation to the supporters in Game 6, led by the 18 points of the 43-year-old Aminata Silla, who hit some clutch foul shots towards the end. They pick up their first win at AfroBasket 2017. The final score was Guinea 60, Tunisia 56.
Nous allons partir, mesdames et messieurs, avec un rapport